We're in a war, folks. We're in the worst war. We're in two wars, actually. Remember when war was fought with weapons? Civil War had muskets and cannons. World War One, World War Two had tanks and guns, and then we had nuclear bombs, weapons, and we knew who the enemy was, right? It was Germany. It was Japan. It was Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan. It was the radical Islamic terrorists. We killed Osama bin Laden. We got rid of Hitler and Saddam Hussein. Well, those war days are over. Now we're in a war against each other. It's a war of emotions. It's a war of ideology and language and political thought. It's a war of thought. Social media and mainstream media, or any media, is the propaganda machine feeding the enemy. There are no weapons, and we can't win this war. And this is worse. We keep hearing comparisons of Hitler. You know what? It's amazing to everyone that Hitler was able to get Germans to agree that Jews need to be annihilated. How did he do it? How did he do it? He convinced them that Jews were the problem. And it wasn't just Jews, it was handicapped. It was whoever did not think the way the Third Reich wanted them to think. Sound familiar? What is the cancel culture? What is all the marching? What are we using? Black Lives Matter. Wear a mask. White supremacy must go. Jews, white supremacy. We are very close to lining up the racists and the white supremacists according to the ideology of the people in charge and bringing them to slaughter. All we need is one black person. It almost happened the other day. One black person was pushed against a tree and almost lynched. If that white guy, that white redneck asshole, got away with it, he would have been brought out into the street and murdered. Then they would have said, this guy had to go, and everybody like him has to go. You see the correlation? You see what's happening? How far away are we from lining up supposed white supremacists and bringing them to slaughter? I'm not saying it's going to be a train to a gas chamber. It'll probably be much more brutal than that. I've got my Anne Frank attic ready. I'm going to hide. Now, I'm not a white supremacist, okay? But if you vote for Trump, if you support Trump, you're a racist, you're a white supremacist, you got to go. You got to go. That's the three. You see, we're almost there. We're just about there. If you don't support Black Lives Matter, then you must be a white supremacist. If you don't support Joe Biden and the Democratic Party, you're a white supremacist. You're a racist. You have to go. We have to remove you from society. And if canceling you, making you lose your job and lose your livelihood and not be able to put food on the table for your children, if that doesn't go far enough, we're going to have to get rid of you. You have to be removed. So we can have a society that only adheres and obeys to one form of ideology. That's Nazi. It's Nazis. It's the same exact playbook. And the media is the bullhorn, and social media is the bullhorn. Why do you think Facebook and Twitter are removing thought and posts that have anything to do with the ideology that they don't support? This is the end. If I vote for Trump, I must be a racist and a white supremacist. You know what? I'll tell you, if you vote for Biden, you must be a pedophile and you must like to sniff women. Forget the Me Too movement. That's only for some women. Only the women that adhere to the ideology. Did you hear Ilhan Omar the other day? She wants to dismantle our society and remove all elements of racism and systemic racism. Though that's the term, systemic racism. The systemic system, the system needs to change. Systemic racism. We have to get that out. So, how do we get it out? What part of systemic and what part of racism do we have to get rid of? The racism part. And who's racist? White people are racist. Hispanics aren't racist. Indians or any European culture that's not white, they're okay for now. But this ideology and this plan is all deliberate. I don't know how much time we got. If Trump wins, they're going to start lining us up. And if Biden wins, they're going to start changing the system and eventually lining us up. So I don't know how long it's going to be 3, 4 years. We're not that far away. It's accelerating, it's moving very quickly. And the ideology is the war we're involved in. And we have no weapons. There's no way to combat it because our emotions have to be in line with the emotions of the ideology that they preach. So you better hide. You better hide. Because when Joe comes out of that basement, when Joe Biden comes out, I'm going in. I'm going to hang a Biden sign outside my door so I don't get branded and sent to the gas chamber. Thank you.